good to sit down.
Sit down.
Oh, thank you. Everyone, take a deep breath and exhale. Important to exhale. And tell you a story about a time when I was sick about 6 years ago. I had a cold, and I got the sneezes, and the sniffles, and the coughing, and the wheezing. And I was going to the drugstore, and it wasn't getting any better. The over-the-counter drugs just weren't working. So I decided, okay, I've had enough of this miserableness. I'm going to go to the doctor as a walk-in. So I go into the doctor's office, wait, it seems like an eternity. Finally, Greg Wasinski, my name. I can maybe get better now. I go to the door, the nurse greets me, and she does the standards, gives me weight, temperature. Then I go back to the examination room. And you go down these narrow hallways, and there's all these little doors and little signs all over the place. And you get into this small examination room. There's a small table, chair, and lots of technical medical stuff all around you. So I tell the nurse my symptoms, and I've been feeling quite miserable, and okay, so she gets the doctor. Then the doctor comes in. I repeat myself, the symptoms again. And he says, well, we're going to have to give you a shot. Well, that's not just such a macabre thought. I donate blood a lot, so I'm sort of used to getting stuck with a needle. So I'm like, okay, got my arm ready. I'm waiting in the room for a few minutes. Then the nurse shows up, and with the needle. I'm like, okay. And she says, you won't be needing your arm. I'm like, what? This goes into your hip. Oh. So after I get off the initial embarrassment, and like, okay, I can take this like a man. I stand up, bare enough to take the shot. I'm like, okay. That's not too bad. She says, well, it may hurt a little bit, but it's okay to sit down. I'm like, okay. She leaves. She said, I'll check back with you. All right, I'm left alone in this examination room. Lots of interesting material on the walls unrelated to my illnesses. And I'm standing there like, ooh, okay. Well, I don't want to sit down because that'll hurt if I sit down on that spot. Okay, I'll just walk around. Maybe by walking it, I'll work it out. And as I walk around the room a little bit, I start to feel cold. I start to get the sweats. I'm like, this isn't good. Well, let me walk around a little bit more. And then I start feeling tunnel vision. Ooh. Okay, well, I don't want to pass out. No, I can't pass out over here. There's sort of sharp objects over there. There's not really much room to lay out. If you pass on the floor, you'll hit something. That would be worse. So I don't want to hurt myself. Okay, must stay awake. Slapping myself, pinching myself, pacing around the room. Must not pass out. Must stay awake. Must stay awake. Finally, after 20 minutes or so, gosh, it seemed longer than waiting in the waiting room. Okay, I think I'm feeling a little bit warmer. Okay, I still want to sit down, but hey, it doesn't hurt anymore. Okay, good. And as I'm walking around, getting my breathing back, I've said enough prayers to try to keep me alive and not pass out. The nurse comes in with a nice smile. She's like, how are you feeling? Well, I'm feeling, a little bit cold. I was worried about passing out. She says, oh, well, that's okay. Didn't you sit down? No, because if I would have sat down, I could have fallen out of the chair. Oh, no. You would have been fine. I would have? Yeah, that's okay. This happens when we give shots all the time. If you feel faint, to sit down. Like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I wandered around about all these macabre thoughts about falling down and hurting myself in this little examination room. I mean, look at all these sharp ends. Look at all this metal stuff. I could have hurt myself passing out. Oh no, if you would have sat in a chair, you would have been fine. Great. So, I wanted to tell you today that it is okay. It is okay to sit down in the doctor's office, especially when the nurse tells you to. And I learned this is even true because my son, when he goes for his allergy shots, they send him back out to the waiting room and they wait for a half hour to see if he has any massive allergic reactions. Well, gosh, if I had known that, I would have sat in that room and, and I did relax at the end. I was like, took a couple deep breaths. Okay, feeling fine. And then I left. And, everyone said bye to me like it was nothing. So, just let you know, when the nurse says sit down, it's a very good thing to sit down.